Hello, welcome to Xinhua Live. I'm Xiyue with Xinhua News Agency. Right now we are at Xiyue Lake National Wetland Park. Every winter there is a special scenery here. That is tens of thousands of migratory birds gathering here every year from October to March of the next year. So this is one of the important habitats of migratory birds. Today, let's take a look at the beautiful scenery here and also how people here strive to protect the migratory birds and natural resources here at the wetland park. And also we have invited a special guest to join our live streaming today. He has grown up by the Xiyue Lake, and now he has spent over 10 years protecting the migratory birds. Welcome, 王三义。王老师您好。
你好，你好，你好。
您能不能给我们介绍一下您现在在这边是做什么工作？
大家好，我叫王三一，我是安徽省安庆市菜子湖湿地生态保护协会的会长。
Okay, so this is Wang Sanyi. Mr. Wang is in charge of the protection institution of the wetland park here. 王老师，能不能给我介绍一下咱们现在这边您看到有哪些候鸟的种群在这里？
现在的今年的候鸟的种群也比较很多。这个有白头鹤、白鹤、小天鹅、白皮鹭，还有一些斗雁、红雁、小白额雁、灰雁，像这些的鸟类。今年到了，最近都全部到了。
Okay, so Mr. Wang told me that as the temperature drops, a lot of migratory birds has arrived at this wetland, including like cygnus and oriental stork and black stork and white cranes and other important migratory birds and rare species has arrived. 往年我们最多的时候候鸟大概有多少？
最多的时候有10万多只。
Okay. So at the most, when over the years, there have been up to over 100,000 of migratory birds gathering here. 那您每天在这边大概工作内容，包括您和您的团队工作内容有哪些？
我们每天在这湖上就是巡湖监测，一个呢就是防止盗猎，防止湿地的这个生态的破坏。还有一个呢，就是我们要监测那个入侵瑞品的监测，防止禽流感呐这一类的发生。
明白。So Mr. Wang told me that he and his team, their major tasks every day. The first one is to patrol around lake and monitoring the status of the migratory birds, and especially to prevent poaching activities. And the second task is to monitor the epidemic situation of the migratory birds groups to prevent the transmission, to prevent the spread of bird flus. And I have heard that Mr. Wang, he used to be a farmer in this area, and later he decided to initiate this group to protect the migratory birds. 我听说您这个也是自己自发成立的这样一个组织是吗？您以前也是附近的居民？
我们是这个湖边的居民。这我们这个协会的组织的成立啊，主要是都是当地的人民自发式成立的。
So Mr. Wang told me that he used to live by the lake, and this institution and also the team members are all composed of the citizens, the residents near this lake, and they voluntarily join the group to protect the migratory birds. I was also wondering, where can we see more migratory birds? 王老师，我们在哪里能看到更多这个更近距离看到候鸟的这个生活的这个场所和他们的生活的那个形态呢？
现在我们可以到那个燕窝岛。
燕窝岛 ，OK。
对，我们要坐船过去。
坐船去，好嘞。So Miss Wang tell us that we can take a boat to an island over there and to take a closer look without disturbing the migratory birds of us, and to see how they live here at this wetland park. 那王老师，我们就去那边坐船吧。
好嘛，好嘛。
Okay, let's go to the dock. Yes. So now we have boarded on the boat and we are heading on our way to this little island on the wetland park to take a closer look at the migratory birds and how they live here. Let's go. So now we have arrived at this island called the Swallow Nest Island. 王老师，我们现在就到了这个燕窝岛了，是吧？
现在我们下船以后就这就是燕窝岛。
燕窝岛
这就是燕窝岛。
这个岛上，您一般巡护也会来这边是吗？
我们经常的来。
经常来。So Miss Wang told me that when they do the patrol work, they often come here to this island. 这个岛有什么特殊的吗？
这个岛的话，它主要是候鸟在这是个集中区，这地方没有什么人在这居。周边的滩头比较多。候鸟集中在地方。
明白。So Miss Wang told me that this is one of the important habitats where the migratory birds gathers here very often because it is far away from the main wetland park over there. So there is less human activities here, and migratory birds will gather here, and there's a lot of beaches here to provide them with habitats and food. 那王老师，我们一起去岛上来转一转。
好，我在岛上转转。
好的。王老师，咱们这个岛有多大呀？
我们这个岛有2多亩，13公顷。
Okay. So Miss Wang told me that this island is over 200 mu, which is about over 13 hectares. 那咱们巡护员平时就要在这个岛上用，就是边走边看，是吗？
对，这个岛上是我们巡护员经常在这地方巡护的地方。
So Miss Wang told me that the team members, the patrollers, will often come to this island and patrol around this island to see the migratory birds. 一般巡护的时候，我们要做些什么呢？
我们经常巡护的时候，就是说呢，我们用望远镜就在湖上呢观看这湖上的动静、鸟儿的动静，是否有盗猎的和其他破坏实际的现象。
So Miss Wang told me that the team members will go patrol around the island, and with telescope they will see the activities of the migratory birds in distance, and also to surveillance if there's any poaching or other activities that would damage the wetland. 除了这个望远镜好，我们还会用哪些设备来对这个候鸟的情况进行这个监测呢？
这个除掉望远镜以外的话呢，就是我们用无人机。用无人机的话呢，这样呢，它的面呢更广，这天空呢飞得更广，拍摄的面积比较大一点。
So Miss Wang told me that besides with telescope and the team members, they also will use drones to have a wider surveillance range of this wetland. 还有什么其他的这种装备帮助我们来守护这个湿地，包括候鸟的安全吗？
其他的装备就是这个湖上的就是监控器。监控器呢，就是我们湖上到处都全部都安装了，远程监控。我们在家里，在手机高头、家里电脑高头都可以看。
明白。So Miss Wang told me that besides they have also set up an surveillance system with cameras installed on every corner of this wetland park, and the members can see the activities, the situations that's going on in this wetland park on their phones or through the surveillance screen in their office. We have now arrived at a small hill on this island, and with a wide view, wide and open view, so that we can see a lot of migratory birds was gathering over there at a distance and living happily and peacefully. So let's ask Miss Wang about his observation of the migratory birds here. 王老师哈，咱们看到这边有非常多的鸟类，包括在飞翔的、在栖息的。您今年观测到的这个我们这儿的候鸟种群有什么变化吗？
今年的候鸟跟往年有所不同。特别一些珍贵的鸟啊，就是一级保护的那个多一点。多了，就是小天鹅啊，就是每年大概也就300-400只，今年的话达到1000多只。我们前年看到1000多只，还有这个白鹤，白鹤呢有300多只，一往年呢大概就100只。
明白。
还有白皮鹭，这都很多。
明白。 So Miss Wang told me that the biggest change he observed this year is that the numbers and species of the migratory birds is drastically increasing this year, especially those under the first class state protection in China. For example, he has observed that the numbers of the cygnets, which is the first class protection animal in China, has increased drastically this year. So the number in the past years is usually 300 to 400 every year, but now this year he has seen over 1,000 cygnets on this wetland park. And another important change is for white cranes. So this year he has seen about 300 white cranes, but in the past years there will usually be only 100. And also spoon sparrow, another important and real species of bird, has also increased. 我觉得哈，咱们这个候鸟的数量增加，其实跟我们这个环境的变化，包括我们的保护的措施也是紧密关联的。
那这个有很大关系。
是的。
因为如果一个人要保护好，就是保护好候鸟啊，它请个人要进行保护，尤其把它资源生态环境保护好，它就在这地方栖息，它就习惯了。
是的，是的。Miss Wang told me that one of the most important factors for the improve of the numbers of migratory birds is the better environment here, because it provides a better living situation for the migratory birds. The birds would heavily choose to live here. 王老师，是不是我们作为这个，比方说观鸟爱好者或者游客，在这个观赏候鸟的时候，也有一些需要注意的事项？
这个观鸟候鸟，一般的观鸟的和游客，当我们这个来观鸟的时候啊，一般的就不要惊吓候鸟，观看的时候呢，路要远一点。
So Miss Wang told me that as tourists, when we go to the wetlands to appreciate the migratory birds, do not get too close with the migratory birds, so that we do not disturb them or scare them. So the protection of the wetland and migratory birds really requires the participation of every people, including not only the members of the protection committee, but also people from all walks of life. And today we have also invited other guests here to join our live streaming today, including specialists in migratory birds monitoring and protection. So next we will talk to them more about the protections they have done about the wetlands and the migratory birds. 谢谢王老师，接下来我们再和其他专家来聊一聊。
好，
I believe that increase of the amount of migratory birds is also closely related to the improvement of the natural environment here at the wetland. And today we have also invited the staff member from the Anqing City Forestry Department to tell us something about the restoration of the wetland park and the wetland natural environment here. 您好，张站长。
你好。
能不能请您给我们介绍一下近些年咱们对于这个菜子湖包括安庆的其他湿地的修复和保护做了哪些工作呢？
我先简单介绍一下安庆的这个湿地的资源的这个状况吧。安庆湿地总面积是253.11万亩，我们的湿地面积的话呢是居安徽省第一的。我们的湿地保护率的话呢，到今年年底，我们的湿地保护率是62.58%。应该来说，我们的湿地保护率也远远超过全国和全省的这样一个水平。
Okay, so Ms. Zhang has just told me that right now there are over 160,000 hectares of wetlands in Anqing City, which is the largest one in Anhui Province. And right now the protection rate of the wetland resources in Anqing City is over 62%, which is a very high percentage.
我们高位的推动湿地的科研监测，就是包括这么多年来吧，我们和北京林业大学、全国鸟类繁殖中心、这个安徽大学、安徽师范大学，我们开展了这个关于这个珍稀鸟类保护的，或者是这个栖息地保护的这个科研监测的工作，包括关于这个东方白鹳的保护、白头鹤栖息地的保护。 以及这个青头悬崖和中华悬崖的保护这个相关的科研监测工作等等。
Okay, so they have also carried out a lot of scientific research plans and with cooperation with the universities in Han Province and other scientific research institutes from all over China. And they have conducted serious scientific research related with monitoring the activities of migratory birds and the status of their habitats here, and also including a close monitoring of the living situations of a series of a lot of real species of migratory birds such as oriental stork and white cranes. 谢谢张院长给我们的详细介绍。And a thing that Ms. Zhang has just mentioned is about the scientific research and monitoring of the migratory birds. And I believe you are also very curious about how to monitoring these creatures in the wetlands. So later we will invite one of the professors from Anqing Normal University here. She is also in charge of the monitoring of the migratory birds. So let's talk with her later. We can see Dr. E is right here watching and taking pictures of the migratory birds at distance. So let's ask her about her monitoring of the birds. 易老师您好。
你好
你好，打扰您了。能不能请您给我们介绍一下，就是咱们这个团队近些年做了哪些保护这个生态资源，包括保护候鸟的工作？
好的。我们团队目前呢，做了有几项工作。第一项呢是关于水鸟方面的工作，那主要呢是对安庆沿江湿地，和湖泊的这些鸟类呢进行1年1次的一个调查。主要。
明白，不好意思。So I'll translate her answer first. So they have done quite a lot of different kinds of monitoring and scientific research about the natural resources here in Anqing. One of the most important one, the first one, is their monitoring of the waterfowl. So they take a close monitoring and research about the waterfowls in the wetlands in Anqing city that's near the Yangtze River.
并且呢是要对它这个鸟类的一个种类和数量进行一个统计。
So what they do is they have to trace the species and the amount of the waterfowls, the water birds here in the wetlands.
那我们还有一个工作呢，就是我们对安庆这个动植物的资源也是在做一个持续的监测工作。我们团队呢对这个安庆的湿地植物名录也已经编写完成，而且我们还出版了一本安庆野生动物鸟类安庆野生动物这本书
明白。So another important job of the team is to monitor the species of animals and plants in Anqing City and the biodiversity status. So right now they have compiled the wetland plants list of Anqing City, and also they have published a book called Anqing Wild Animals. Yeah, check it out. This book is included all of the wild animals in Anqing.
Yeah. 我们还有做一个工作呢，就是关于这个易源病，因为这个人畜共患疾病的传播问题还是比较严重的，所以我们团队目前呢正在开展一个跟易源疫病相关的一个监测工作。那么目前为止呢，我们受这个安徽省易源疫病总站的一个委托，正在编写安徽省易源疫病监测手册。
So, and also they are doing a monitoring of the epidemic situation of the wild animals and the migratory birds, because the bird flu diseases like this it will make a great impact on the human society. So right now they are conducting a project and monitoring the epidemic situations of the wild animals in Anqing City. So,
然后我们另外呢，就是在做一个这个候鸟它的一个粪便禽流感病毒的一个采集，采集完了之后回来就做一个分析，分析之后呢，我们把它和这个候鸟迁徙通道上和其他栖息地的这个候鸟的一个毒株病毒的一个毒株进行基因上的遗传进化的一个分析，比对分析，分析完以后呢，对我们这个禽流感的一个跨境扩散，就是起到一个 提前预警的一个指示作用。
So, Dr. Yi told me that another important task of their team is to take the samples of the bird dropping in the wetlands and other habitats of the migratory birds, and they have to compare the samples they get with the samples from other habitats and other flyways of the migratory birds, so that they can monitor the transmission of the bird flus. Between each inhabitants of the migratory birds, and give out early warnings if epidemic is about to happen between different groups of migratory birds. 谢谢，感谢易老师，感谢您对我们的生态环境保护的付出。
好，谢谢您。
So now we have arrived at the popular science publicity and education hall of the Anhui Caizi Lake Wetland Park. And now we have also invited the staff here to tell us more about the ecosystem and natural resources of this wetland. 你好，怎么称呼您？
我姓杨，是菜子湖保护中心的工作人员。
Okay, so this is Miss Yang, and she is the staff member of the protection center of the wetland park here. 杨老师，咱们这边就是湿地公园有哪些动植物资源、生态资源呀？
我们湿地公园动物有300多种，植物有400多种。
So there are over 400 kinds of plants here in this wetland park, and over 300 species of animals here. And we have seen a lot of migratory birds over there at the wetland. So let's ask Miss Yang about what kind of influence does the migratory birds and birds have on the ecosystem here. 杨老师，咱们这边就是候鸟非常多哈，对于我们这边湿地的生态环境会有怎样的影响呢？
候鸟是我们湿地生态的重要组成部分，同时也是反映湿地环境质量的重要指标。
So Miss Yang told me that migratory birds is not only an important part of the ecosystem here, they are also playing as an important indicator of the natural environment here. 咱们这边候鸟资源有怎么样的特点？包括有多少种类？
我们这边候鸟是分为冬候鸟跟夏候鸟，冬候鸟偏多，主要是大概有47种。夏候鸟有31种。据统计呢，我们湿地公园每年来菜子湖的候鸟数量能达到10万只左右。
So Miss Yang told me that the migratory birds here can be divided into two groups, the winter migratory birds and the summer migratory birds. So there are over 40 species of winter migratory birds here and over 30 species of summer migratory birds here. So every year there will be over 100,000 of migratory birds arriving here to overwintering and stop over at this Caizi Lake Wetland Park. 咱们这边候鸟其实也有很多非常珍稀的种类，是吧？
是的，我们这边国家1级保护鸟类有4种，分别是东方白鹳、白鹤、黑鹳和白头鹤。
And also Miss Yang told me that there are many kind of rare species of migratory birds here, including 4 species under the first class state protection in China, such as oriental stork, black stork, and white crane and hooded crane. So 谢谢杨老师今天给我们介绍。And thank you so much for watching today's Xinhua Live. See you next time.